Toronto mayoral candidate Mitize Hunter is making a campaign announcement focused on addressing homelessness. Let's listen in live.
Too many people at risk of eviction and homelessness. Too many people are sheltering on the TTC and in parks. The dignity of our people demands that we take action to reduce homelessness and housing stability. And we increase that stability for all. There is a moral imperative for us to take action on homelessness. We cannot ignore it, and we see it all around. We need to get people experiencing homelessness safely housed. Everyone in Toronto deserves a safe and affordable place to call home. It's a fundamental human right. Our city has to work for everyone, everywhere. And that is why I am here today to talk about what I will do as mayor to deal with homelessness and housing instability. I am announcing a 3-point plan that will reduce homelessness, increase housing stability, and raise mental wellness. My 3-point plan to reduce homelessness, to increase housing stability, and to raise mental wellness will put us on a path towards ensuring everyone in Toronto has a safe and affordable home. So here's my 3-point plan and how it works. I will take action to reduce homelessness by opening 24/7 warming and cooling centers for homeless people. We know that we all are experiencing climate change, and our homeless people deserve that protection from it as well. Adding 400 new shelter beds, doubling capacity of street outreach support programs, including 11,000 individuals who are experiencing homelessness getting the help that they need to find permanent housing. I will take action to increase housing stability. I'm very excited about this by adding 2,000 new affordable and supported units of housing. Maintaining social housing subsidies now supported by the federal government, but they are set to expire. Increasing eviction prevention services by expanding eviction prevention in the community, the EPIC program, which supports vulnerable rental households to maintain their housing. Finally, we must acknowledge that mental illness is contributing to homelessness, so I will take action to raise mental wellness by doubling support to street outreach services, increasing assistance from peer support workers, as well as clinical supports from psychologists and social workers. I want to thank Dr. Sylvain Roy for joining me here today and for the work that you and your colleagues are doing to address this crisis. And finally, intervening by helping young people and adults moving into permanent housing. These measures together will be supported by a newly established housing stability fund, which is amounting to $100 million in the first year. Yes. I would leverage this investment by Toronto by seeking continued and increased support from the provincial and federal governments with the aim of increasing the fund to $155.9 million by 2025. I will also establish transformative benchmarks, including reducing the net total number of persons experiencing homelessness by 1/3 by 2033, as well as reducing homelessness by 3.3% every year. ensuring that we have enough affordable units that are repaired and updated so that we don't lose not one unit that can be used for these purposes, as well as providing the funding and the policy changes that will ensure new affordable units are built to ensure that everybody who needs one gets one. Ensuring that these homes include enough supportive housing units and adequate supports, that they must be funded so everyone who needs supports receives that care. So my plan will be informed by talking to people with lived experience of homelessness and those with the greatest housing needs before, during, and after implementation, as well as experts such as those of the Wellesley Institute and Dr. Sylvain Roy and his colleagues. It's clear that we cannot stay on the same path, that we must get our city on a better track. It is time to get going, and it is time to get it done.
Yes, yes.
In Toronto, we need to do things differently to have a great city that people can call home because it is safe, because they can afford to live here, and because it is well run. We need to make sure that all services that we depend on each and every day, that they work better, and that they work better for everyone. And that's why I'm running to be mayor of this city. We need a fresh set of eyes on the city's problems that we're facing. We need approaches to solve the problems of today, like homelessness, while also preparing for a great tomorrow. There's a lot to do. There's a lot that hasn't been done. We have some catching up to do. And here's the thing. I've never been a city councillor. And come to think of it, I've never been a chief of police either. Yet, I have a lot of experience in senior roles in the Ontario Cabinet, and including concentrating for many years on the city's issues as head of civic action and as CAO of the Toronto Community Housing Corporation. In fact, I've spent most of my life and my career connecting people and making systems work better for them. And that's what I want to do as mayor of Toronto. I know how things are run, and I know how to identify problems and put forward viable plans and solutions to solve them. I'm an advocate. I know how to get things done. So let's go. Let's do this. Let's bring people together and get it done. That's what Toronto needs right now. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you.
Question for you. Name recognition. You have a former chief of police. You have former city councilor Olivia Chow. Is that a bit of a challenge? And Olivia is just announcing her candidacy in about 2 minutes. So, what's your thoughts on name recognition? It's a big field.
It is a big field. You know, my thoughts, I support local democracy. I've been a champion of local democracy. I introduced ranked ballots as a way to increase that in Toronto and across the province. So I definitely welcome all candidates that are in this race. I know that I bring a fresh, new and different perspective. I also bring the experience to back it up, and I believe that Toronto needs a new direction. You know, we can't have the same old, same old. We have to have a fresh new direction for our city so that our city works for everyone. And that's something that I bring. I'm a unifier. You know, I represent our community right now in Scarborough, and I've been a champion for that community. You know, one of the examples that I want to share today about being that connector and that unifier, you know, from my experience, I was working at the Toronto Community Housing Corporation when I was first elected. I recognized that people who had mental health and addictions were not getting the help and the support that they needed. And I became their advocate and brought together services through the LIN at the time in combination with TCHC and mental health providers. And we brought those into the buildings within the community rather than expecting people who required that type of health care to go and find it. We brought it right into their homes, frankly, and put on-site services. And that's the kind of person that I am. I'm able to see things differently and to come up with solutions that really take those resources and connect them to those who are most in need. So this is an opportunity for Toronto to take a new direction and to have that fresh leadership that is really here for the challenges that we face today that require solutions. Well, thank you so much. I really want to thank my wonderful team of volunteers, and this is about, you know, making sure that people who are in the greatest need, you know, too many people are falling off of the housing ladder. And we see that showing up in our transit system, in the TTC, in parks, coming from Scarborough, even in the ravines, and that's not the city that we want. We want people to have, everyone should have a home. It is a human right. It's actually a right here in Canada that everyone deserves a safe home. And in our great city of Toronto, let's get this done and let's do this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.